of Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
And welcome to All-Star Week here on Fox Sports San Diego. Tonight, the Padres continue their 4-game series with the Los Angeles Dodgers, live from Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. Fans filing in. They have attracted more than any major league team, an average of over 46,000 fans per game. And it's the Padres and Dodgers game 2 of the 4-game set. Chase Headley off to a good start in the month of July, hitting .359, his home run last night in the 2-1 Dodger win. And how about the Cuban Express, the 66 train? Yasiel Puig, he's on his way to the All-Star game. He is a do-it-all 5-star pro. As we welcome you to Chavez Ravine and Dodger Stadium, Mark Grant and Dick Enberg. Thank you for joining us on this Friday night. The weather is perfect, and the Padres are hoping that Jesse Hahn can come through with another big effort. He's not been intimidated by the big stage.
He hasn't, not one bit, Dick, and each time that Jesse Hahn has gone out there, he has improved and command of all of his pitches as well. Remember, this kid's pitched against the Giants. Now he's getting a chance to pitch against the Dodgers, 2 of the top teams in the National League West. In the last 5 starts, the numbers are just eye-popping. The 1.45 ERA, opponents only hitting 167, and look at that. Strikeouts to innings pitched. Very, very nice. More Ks than innings pitched. Why? All 4 of his pitches. He can command, get some help from his teammates behind the plate, calling some good games, Yasmani Grandal and Rene Rivera. So tonight, hopefully, he continued. He had a chance to scout these hitters last night. Hopefully, it's high fives all the way around for Jesse and going deep into the game as well for the young right-hander.
And he's 2-0 on the road. He's 1 in San Francisco and 1 in New York on some big baseball arenas. Well, for the Padres, they finally get the left-handed bat back in there, and it's nice to see Seth Smith at the start of the order.
Yeah, and he's swinging the bat really well, and it's nice to have that leadoff hitter with the great numbers, and especially against Dan Herron, hitting .286. The key is to have the lineup turn over at the bottom of the lineup to have Seth Smith come up with runners on base, and hopefully he can produce with the 3 home runs and 9 RBIs against Dan Herron and have some runners in scoring position, RBI opportunities when Seth Smith comes up to the plate tonight. And hopefully Seth Smith has about 4 or 5 at-bats. That would be a good thing for the Padres.
That would be a good sign, would it be? Chris Budden will talk about the budding right-hander, the 24-year-old. Jesse Hahn, he's worked the middle distance so far. Can he run the full mile? We'll see. Coming up.
Welcome back to Los Angeles. Game 2 between the Padres and the Dodgers. It's the youngster on the mound tonight, 24-year-old Jesse Hahn, looking to pick up his 5th win of the season. And for most of his career, Jesse's been on a strict pitch count. That's because of the injuries that he's had. Also had Tommy John surgery in 2012. Has never gone past 5 innings until he got to San Diego, and twice has pitched through 7 innings, a feat he didn't think was possible this year.
I thought this was the year I was going to get my shot up here, and this is the year they were going to let me go a little bit, extend my innings. I didn't think I'd be going 7 innings, 6 innings. I thought I'd still be at 5, but I'm glad I am. Just guys I was rehabbing with, I had other fellow teammates when I was with the Rays. They went through the surgery. Just talking to them, talking to trainers, the guys who were rehabbing me, staying positive. My father, he helped me stay positive, and that was about it. A lot of it I did on my own.
So Jesse's next goal, pitch a complete game. Well, hopefully tonight will be the night against the Dodgers. How the West was won. It all starts here, right here in Los Angeles. Game 2, Padres, Dodgers. See if the Padres can even up the series. First pitch coming up on Fox Sports San Diego.
Well, the Padres tonight will try to knock the Dodgers off the first place perch in the National League West. They've made up 10.5 games since June 1st on the Giants and now lead San Francisco by 1. As we check the Padres lineup tonight, brought to you by Toyota. Leading off is Seth Smith, 281, the top Padre average. Then it's Headley. Carlos Quinton will hit third. Yasmani Grandal in the cleanup spot. Jake Gobert gets the start at first base. Brooks Conrad at second. Will Venable will hit 7th. Alexi Amarista 8th, and Jesse Hahn 9th on the mound.
And the scouting report for Dan Herron into his 10th year. 3-time All-Star. Pretty consistent through his big league career. He is a strike thrower. He's not overpowering, and very few walks. These Padre hitters, yes, they're going to get some pitches to hit. Last time out, very wild in the strike zone, Mr. Enberg. 5 1/3 innings, gave up 10 hits and 8 earned runs for Dan Herron.
That was at Colorado, his worst start of the season, and we're underway. First pitch to Seth Smith is in for a strike. You're right about getting pitches to hit. He's a controlled thrower, is Dan Herron. He averages 1.57 walks per 9 innings. So you got to hit your way on. perfect baseball night this Friday in the city of Angels. 72 degrees. Even nice for the umpires. Randazzo calling the balls and strikes with Rackley, Wolf, and Gorman on the bases. Check swing strike. And it's 1-2 to Smith. Lifetime against Seth Smith. Aaron has given up a .286 average, and Seth has 3 home runs off the right-hander. Up and away, 2-2. But Black hoping that there'll be some magic in the Padre bats tonight. They have not knocked a man in from scoring position in 3 full games. And it's a full count to Smith. That's why he has him leading leadoff. You've got your best hitter, give him an extra at bat.
Yeah, great command of the strike zone when you look at the first 2 hitters for the Padres. Seth Smith, Chase Headley.
High fly ball. Right field hooking toward the seats. Gordon out and runs into the wall. He might have caught that ball, but as he arrived, so did that padded wall. And he was jackknifed away, and Seth Smith will have another chance.
I was wondering where Puig was on that play. That ball was up there forever.
Well, he's just jogging over. He's submitted the chance to Gordon. So Smith will gladly come back to the batter's box with a count still 3-2. Gordon looking out at Puig as if to say, hey fella.
Yeah, he ran twice as far to try to get that foul ball than Yasiel Puig did in right field.
Puig laughing. I'm saving it for later. And a leadoff walk. So Smith, who leads the Padres in free passes, has his 41st, and that's a good start for San Diego. Heron doesn't give up many of those. Look at the Dodger defense tonight with Kemp in left, Van Slyke in center, Puig in right, Uribe and Gonzalez at the corners. Rojas gets a start at shortstop, the young man from Albuquerque, and D. Gordon at second with Butera behind the plate. A couple of new faces tonight. Don Mattingly giving his backups a chance, and the first pitch a strike to Headley. 8 out of 9 games he's hit safely. .359 average to raise his season total to .225. Hit his 7th home run last night right-handed against Kershaw. 1-1.
Probably the worst pitch that Kershaw threw all night. Hanging slider from the lefty into the righty. Switch hitting Chase Headley, and he made him pay. He crushed that pitch.
But that would be the only run off Kershaw, who allowed just 3 hits. Look at that. He shaved the beard overnight.
Go back to the prospect look.
Apparently he was growing that beard as long as he had that consecutive shutout inning streak going.
He looks like he's 12 years old, doesn't he?
I was going to say, my goodness, shaves his beard and he goes from 26 to 16. 8 straight wins for Kershaw. Leads the league now in ERA. And if he continues to hold that lead, he'll do something no one has ever done in the National League, and that's win the ERA title 4 straight years. How good is good? 2-2 to Headley. Strike 3 call. 1 away as we take a look at the keys to the game tonight, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County.
Well, the Padres have to clean up the defense. Last night, 4 errors. They had more errors than hits last night in the 2-1 loss, and big hits with runners on base.
And any hit with a runner in scoring position.
Yes.
Carlos Quinton, some of the fans at Dodger Stadium remembering his encounter with Zach Greinke. Greet him with a chorus of boos. And he delivers a high fly ball to left field. He just missed that. Kemp is under it. 2 away. That was close to giving it the full ride. Just a perfect night. Clear skies, 72 degrees. Just enough breeze to cool the air, give it a little freshness.
We're in the catbird seat here, huh? Seeing the San Gabriels.
Often at this time of the year, it's smog hidden. Beautiful night tonight. Yasmani Grandal Checking in at 208. 7 home runs, all 7 from the left side. Off speed in there.
Well, Herron will throw the fastball, the cutter, the split, and the change. Now, the cutter and the split finger are the pitches that he really likes to bury inside to the lefties. The splitty down and away to the lefties.
Now the curveball, 1-1. Don Mattingly, the 4th-year skipper of the Dodgers. And the count goes 2-1. And we see tonight Matt Latos pitching for Cincinnati and was lifted after 5 innings with back spasms. There have been some key players yesterday and tonight going on the DL with severe injuries. We'll get into that, and that one's a strike. 2-2. Karen, a local lad, Bishop Amat High School, Pepperdine University. Andrew Kashner continues to be a spectator. Foul tip, just out of the glove of catcher Butera.
That's that backdoor cutter from Dan Herron. He got Chase Headley looking at that pitch. 2nd time in a row to Grandal. And that's one of those plays for Butera you really can't practice. That foul tip into the glove. Doesn't find the pocket and it finds its way out. And another hack. Another opportunity for Yasmani.
Ground ball left side and through. They had the shift on, and so beating the shift Grandal sends Smith to 3rd. With a 2-out single, and the Padres threaten here in the first.
First baseman number 4,
as Jake Gobert comes up.
Yasmani did a fine job of hitting down on that changeup. It was a changeup down and away, hits it on the ground, and just out of the reach of Uribe, who really doesn't have the greatest range, but with the shift on, that was his responsibility on the left side of the diamond. A little 2-out action here for San Diego.
Trying to break out of that 3-game streak of not being able to knock in a run with 17 chances. 0 for 17 with runners in scoring position the last 2 games in Colorado and last night against Kershaw. Limited play. Gobert's done a nice job. 9 for 27. First major league home run in Colorado a couple of nights ago. Breaking ball, 1-1. Tommy Medica shelved tonight. A groin pull last night, running out an infield hit. With the All-Star break coming up, they're going to see if that can improve. Not necessary to put him on the DL. 1-2 now to Gobert.
3 breaking balls in a row to Jake Gobert. Now I think he's got him set up for a nice changeup, maybe down and away, or maybe something out of the zone to have Gobert expand the zone.
A ball, 2 strikes. Padres with runners at the corners, 2 outs. Bounces that one, 2-2. So Aaron's thrown a lot of pitches in this first inning, 23.
Yeah, that one was by design. A nice job by Butera blocking that curveball. He can throw it over the heart of the plate. He can bounce it when he's ahead with 2 strikes. And there you see the breakdown. 23 pitches so far for Herron.
137 career wins for Herron, now 33 years of age. And the count goes full. Good take by Gobert. That'll give Grandal a big jump at first base as Adrian Gonzalez moves deep, almost to the outfield grass. Now he moves in and backs up again. 3-2, and a hot shot to second. D. Gordon over to first, and the inning is over. Gobert hit it hard, but right to her glove. Nothing in the first for the Padres. D. Gordon will lead off the bottom half of the inning. His career not lasting long enough for him to come to Los Angeles. 39, Roy Campanella did play in the Coliseum, and of course Sandy Koufax starred right here at Dodger Stadium. Let's take a look now at the Dodgers starting lineup. D. Gordon, then Yasiel Puig, the two All-Stars at the top of the order. Then Adrian Gonzalez leading in RBIs. Matt Kemp, 8 for 17 streak for the left fielder. Scott Van Slyke, another start in center. Juan Uribe at third, Miguel Rojas at short, Drew Butera the catcher, and Dan Herron on the mound.
And the young 24-year-old right-hander Jesse Hahn, scouting report, he's aggressive with all of his pitches. His confidence is just going through the roof. We're seeing it right before our eyes. He had quite a June, 4 wins in June for Jesse Hahn. He had a chance to scout these Dodgers last night. Let's see if he can put it to work tonight.
And a look at the Padre defense brought to you by the Aramco Group. Quinton in left, Venable in center, and Smith the right fielder. Headley and Amarista on the left side. Conrad and Gobert at second and first, and Grandal behind the plate for Jesse Hahn, 6'5", 190 pounds, just 24 years of age. Gordon at 298. Leads the team in hits with 103, and amongst the leaders in the majors in triples with 9. And respecting his speed and bunting talent, Headley playing very shallow and on the grass at third. And first baseman Gobert also at the edge of the grass. Puig next. .92 on the fastball strike. 330 down each line. It's symmetrical. 385 in the power alleys and 395 to straightaway center. Those were not the original dimensions, at least in the outfield. Early on, as I remember, it was about 410 to center, and then they shortened up center field, but the foul lines are the same.
Yeah, the one thing I like about the foul lines here is that it gives the outfielders a chance to go over that wall and bring one back. You know, you can scale that outfield wall.
Ground ball to short. Amarista up with it. One away. Everything close when Gordon hits it on the ground. Time now for our top tier player profile, brought to you by Arco. Profiling tonight, Yasiel Puig. Last 10 games, a slump for him, but a threat every time he steps into that batter's box.
You know, Odrisamer Despaigne did a nice job last night. You know, he did hit the double in the 4th inning, but struck him out.
A double off the leg of the pitcher.
That's right, but that ball was rocketed.
Before the game, the 4 Dodger All-Stars getting their All-Star jerseys and showing those off. Look at Kershaw, shaven now on the left. Zach Greinke, the 4th, along with Puig and Gordon. One and one to Puig. Well, there's that curveball that fooled him, but didn't quite catch the inside corner.
Well, if you look at the way that the Padre pitching staff has been pitching Puig, it's been down and away, sliders, fastballs down and away, up and in to try to tie him up just to give him a different type of look. And it's worth noting again, Dick, remember the last couple starts, Jesse Hahn has had trouble with the glove side command of the fastball. That's down and away to the righties.
3-1. And he lost him. A one-out walk to Puig. And that'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. East Lake High School. #1 draft pick. Certainly a star in San Diego. And he continues to put up big numbers, especially where they count home runs and RBIs. Fourth in the National League in runs batted in with 59, only 4 behind Giancarlo Stanton of Miami. That's in there. 93, eased that fastball in there at 93. Sacrifice fly last night for Adrian. That proved to be the winning run, 2-1.
A good double play candidate right here. He's grounded into 10 this year. Sometimes he'll try to roll over that two-seamer down and away.
1-1. Get into a double play in the first inning last night. Long look like Gonzalez said his coach. Hit and run in the works here. Nope. Fouled off the glove of Grandal. Puig at first, one out in the bottom of the first. Zach Greinke giving the Los Angeles Dodgers another great performance last night. They're 20-11 their last 31 games to move ahead of the Giants into first place. 52-42 overall. Way out in front of that one, got plenty of distance on it, but well foul. 1-2 on Gonzalez.
A little too quick to that breaking ball. So now I think this is a situation where that changeup might come into play. Dodger fans, Padre fans getting along, having a good old time at Dodger Stadium tonight.
Ground ball to second. It won't go to second. Conrad, he gets the sure out at first with Puig advancing. 2 outs, man in a scoring position. Matt Kemp will come up and try to give the Dodgers the early lead.
You know, he could have got Puig at second base. He went in slowly. He did not slide. He went in on his feet. And I think Brooks is thinking, you know, I'm going to get the sure out, then we'll have 2 outs. But just mentioning that Puig did not go into second base hard there. His hands on his knees. Who knows what's up?
Kemp, a hot hitter this last week. Takes low, ball 1.
Samir Despaigne last night really pitched Matt Kemp really well. Ground ball, struck out looking. He did single in the 6th.
Line drive by the shortstop Amarista. Here comes Puig. He will stroll home. It's 1-0 Dodgers. A bullet RBI single off the bat of Kemp. The 1-out walk pays off for the Dodgers. 1 hit, 1 run.
It's a slider. You see Jesse Hahn's fingers working around that baseball, and Kemp catches it out in front, but it's a hanging slider right through the hole. And how important now is that Puig on second base could have went the short way to second base on that great ground ball by Gonzalez, but that's not the case.
Served as a sacrifice instead. Here's Scott Van Slyke. Had a little bloop single last night to knock in the first run for the Dodgers. Getting more and more playing time, this big right-handed hitter. Andre Ethier on the bench, and so is Carl Crawford. Van Slyke earning his share of the starts. Has 8 home runs. Only 121 at bats, 8 home runs. well to center field, but Venable's out there and loves it for the out. But the Dodgers get a run on a hit. 1-0 LA. July 11th, Babe Ruth debuted pitching for the Boston Red Sox, beat Cleveland 4-3. While with the Red Sox, Babe would win 89 games. And meanwhile, when he took the batter's box, he only hit .343 and 49 home runs before going on to become the Sultan of SWAT in New York. 100 years ago, the most famous of all baseball players, Babe Ruth got it started on this date.
You know, Dick, as far as this guy's opinion, the greatest player to ever play the game, I think. What do you think?
Well, you know, when you throw in the pitching, the
That's
fact
right.
that he could have made the Hall of Fame as a pitcher.
Exactly.
But his bat was much too powerful and precious, and the Yankees able to take advantage. Brooks Conrad, 2 for 17 since coming up to the Padres. 1-2. Aaron given an early run, 1-0 going to the top of the second. Conrad, Venable, and Amarista, 3 left-handed hitters here in the second. And a wave and a miss. Second strikeout for Herron.
You know, so many pitches from Dan Herron work down to the zone and dart down in the zone. Sometimes it's kind of hard to distinguish if it's the cutter, if it's the split, because the cutter is anywhere from 82 to 86. The split out of the hand there, that looks like a split, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. His fingers around the baseball there.
So 1 out to Will Venable. Will continues to struggle. He's at 193. And there's a slider in for a strike. Where is that guy that hit 22 homers last year and 22 doubles? Strike 2.
You know, if you always try to pull Herron, you're going to get into trouble. There's certain pitches where it's middle, in, it's soft. Yeah, come out of your shoes and try to yank it. But down and away, fastballs.
And he swings at a ball in the dirt, and it goes all the way to the screen. Well, that's one way to get on base. Strike out, wild pitch. And Venable aboard the tying run with 1 out here in the second.
Shortstop number 5, Alexi Amarista.
This looked like some type of off-speed pitch from Herron as Butera is set up right through the wickets.
So third strikeout for Herron, 2 in this inning. 1 out to Amarista. Batting .229, 3.46. Previous meetings against the right-hander Herron. His average improving slowly, but certainly gradually. .229, mostly because he's not trying to pull everything. Most of his hits have been to left field. Strike one. More high pitches are called strikes on Amarista because he's so short. And the ball's that high on the letters for most hitters, it's called a ball. But that barely caught the high inside corner. 1-0 Dodgers. Venable at first with 1 away. Jesse Hahn, the pitcher, next. Two and one. Amarista with a tough night last night. A couple of errors. Did have a base hit, one of the 3 hits off Kershaw. And foul back. Padres trying to put together some hitting chemistry. Picked up a couple of wins before the All-Star break. They've dropped 5 of the last 6 games. And the old story is get to 4, score 4. And they're 28-4. High fly ball hit well to right field. That's sending Puig back to the wall, and that ball is gone. Amarista will touch them all, and the Padres take the lead when Little Ninja goes deep. Venable comes in front of him, and Amarista gives the Padres a 2-1 lead.
Well, let's see if Herron tries to go inside on him. Oh, it looks like a two-seamer, maybe even a changeup. Something left up on contact up above the belt buckle, and he gives it a ride.
His 3rd home run of the season, to the dismay of the veteran Herron. He has given up the lead 2-1, and here's Jesse Hahn. Now we're halfway to that 4-run count. Handshakes all around for Amarista. Foul tip, 0-2. Well, the wild pitch on the strikeout of Venable pays off. Gives the Padres a bonus run.
So now Herron has given up a home run to start. 19th start, 19th home run given up. And how sweet is that? One swing of the bat, the Padres taking the lead. Got a base runner, put a charge into one.
Maybe that'll inspire more. And the count 2-2 now to Hahn.
Good pick, Professor, and pick the stick. Oh, come on now. It's a good pick.
Swing and a miss, and Hahn becomes the 4th strikeout victim of Dan Herron. To the top of the order, Seth Smith. So Herron has struck out the side, yet he's given up the lead 2-1.
You know what that is? That's a big league hang with him.
Sure is.
Because nobody said this game was going to be easy. It's easier to pick this guy for pick the stick. What's that, 7 points for you, Professor?
I don't care.
Oh, come on.
I think it's more important the Padres are in front 2-1. Seth Smith walked the first time. Outside. Smith just very quietly in the top 7 in the National League in slugging percentage. Slugging at a .510 rate. And he, as we mentioned earlier, has enjoyed his swings against Dan Herron. Ground ball sharply and gloved by Gordon. Terrific play by Gordon at second base. Rob Smith of a base hit. But Alexi Amarista with Venable at first on a strikeout wild pitch. Goes deep to the bleacher section of Dodger Stadium. 2-1 San Diego.
Padres a 2-1 lead here in the bottom of the second with that home run. Lexi is known in the clubhouse as the Little Ninja. So how did the nickname start? Well, a couple years ago, former Padres catcher John Baker started it. Well, why? Because he's short and because he sneaks up on people. Well, with that home run, certainly shows it doesn't just sneak up on pitches. The boy has some power as well, guys.
Yeah, it's a surprising package. Amarista, his size, does have distinctive power when he tags one, and he did tonight. Uribe, Rojas, and Butera in the bottom of the second. Uribe, 296 hitter this year. Veteran presence in a lineup that is full of top-notch vets, big money players.
And you know what? Speaking of that, in this lineup, I think it's another feather in the cap for Despaigne last night. Pitching to this lineup for the Dodgers. 7 innings, 7 hits, only 2 runs. He did not walk a batter, and he struck out 7 Dodgers.
Yeah, he'd been a great outing. And the 2 runs, yeah, you could make a case for the fact that they shouldn't have scored. I mean, there was a little good luck involved and an error.
He's been fun to watch.
Calling home. He is a fidgety sort. Swing and a miss. It's 2-2. Big curveball there from Hahn.
And you know what? He's fitting right in the clubhouse, too, Despaigne. Talking to pitching coach Darren Balls, he says guys are having fun with him. He's one of the guys.
Outside, full count.
Good sense of humor.
Two really pleasant surprises middle of this year. Back in April, you could hardly define who they were. Despaigne, who's he? Jesse Hahn? Yeah, I saw him out in the back lots there at Peoria. Looks pretty good. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout as he goes to the breaking pitch, and number 1 on the night for Hahn.
Uribe likes to swing the bat. You can expand the zone, and this isn't even one of the better curveballs from Jesse Hahn. Why? Because it's elevated, it's not breaking as much, but the key is he's way out front on the off-speed pitch.
That takes us to our Saquon Casino vacation stat of the game. NL rookie leaders, most strikeouts by a pitcher. Hahn right there, even though he's only been up since the start of June. First pitch to Miguel Rojas. in for a strike. As we mentioned earlier, in 6 starts for Pond, 41 strikeouts. No San Diego pitcher in their 46-year history has struck out that many in the first 6 games wearing a Padre uniform. Headley, a couple of hopper, and there's 2 away. Brings up Drew Butera.
Catcher number 31, Drew Butera.
And you know, Dick, with that strikeout nugget for Jesse Hahn, you know, this might work to his advantage to where hitters come up to the plate and they try to avoid the strikeout. So therefore, they're swinging early in the count, and it might be a pitcher's pitch, and you get that easy ground ball to third base like we just saw to Chase Headley.
Butera, no spring chicken. He's been around for a while. 30 years of age. Originally with the Minnesota Twins. Played his college ball at University of Central Florida. Two and 0. Hahn has walked 1, and it cost him. Puig walked in the first, moved to second on a ground out, and scored on Matt Kemp's 2-out single. Butera, originally selected in the 5th round 9 years ago by the Mets. That is ball 4. Looked as if Tony Randazzo wanted to call that a strike, but it's ball 4. Butera aboard, and Dan Herron, the pitcher, comes up.
Dan Herron.
Not much expression from Black, but what you can see there is you can't walk Butera.
Right, exactly.
Now you have the pitcher out of the way, Herron. You want to get Butera out and make Herron open the next inning. There's a strike.
Good movement on that 2-seam fastball. You know, the talk has been the curveball and changeup from Jesse Hahn, but he has tremendous movement on that 2-seamer. He'll throw the 2 and the 4-seamer.
Herron has 5 hits this year and 4 RBIs. Strike 2. And strike 3. 3 pitches, and that's it for Herron. A couple of strikeouts in the inning for Jesse Hahn. We go on to the 3rd at Dodger Stadium. The Padres 2 and the Dodgers 1. A strikeout pitcher, Jesse Hahn, showing the Dodgers his good stuff.
So to Padres POV this week, we bring you the kids' perspective of Padres Sunday Kids Fest. Plus, we take you behind the scenes from the making of the Andrew Kastner camo jersey commercial. There he is sitting down with Padres Hall of Famer Randy Jones. That and much more on Padres POV tonight after Padres Live right here on Fox Sports San Diego.
So we go to the third here at Dodger Stadium with the Padres leading 2-1. It's interesting how they're scoring by way of the long ball here of late. In Colorado on Tuesday night, they lost 2-1, but Rivera counted for the 1 run with a home run. Then on Wednesday night, 6-3, and 2 of the 3 runs on home runs, Gobert and Smith. And tonight, a 2-run homer for Amarista. After last night, it was Headley accounting for the only run with a home run. Headley, Quinton, and Grandal here in the top of the third. Headley struck out, took a third strike, first time. He pulls that one deep, but way foul. That makes it almost into the second deck down there, deep into the lower tier.
That's that cutter that Chase Headley is too quick to. That's a tough pitch to keep fair.
Aaron using a lot of pitches early. This is his 50th. And he strikes out Headley again. That's 5 strikeouts already.
Well, Heron mixing it up to Headley. First strikeout, cutter, back door. This last pitch, fastball, 4-seamer away.
Left fielder number 18, Carlos Quinton.
Carlos Quinton tagged one high and deep. Just got under it enough for an out the last time.
And this is the 4-seamer where Chase Headley's just a little bit tardy on it, right? Because before, he's got that cutter in the back of his mind. And Heron slips by the 4-seamer.
That ball movement, able to move it, a few inches one way and then come around the next pitch just about the same amount, maybe 4 or 5 inches the other way. You're taking full advantage of the home plate.
Heron does that so well.
One and one. Took something off the breaking ball.
Well, that's why he's won in double digits 8 times at the big league level for Dan Heron. Starting back with Oakland, come up with the St. Louis Cardinals, and Oakland, Arizona, now with Los Angeles, and then Washington and Los Angeles again, or Los Angeles Angels, I should say.
In fact, he's got 8 wins this year, 2 more, and he will have won at least 10 games in 10 straight years. Pretty nice to have him, man. You put him in your roster, and you know you're going to get at least 10 wins out of him. Likes to pitch at night, Heron. Of his 8 wins, 6 at night, 6-1 under the bright lights. Fit for a man pitching near Hollywood. Popped up. Gonzalez comes into foul territory and makes the catch. 2 away here in the top of the third to Yasmani Grandal. Signal to left field his first time, beat the shift. Dodgers already thinking about post All-Star as they moved into first place, because they have a rough road trip greeting them right after the All-Star hiatus. Don Mattingly's team will go to St. Louis, Pittsburgh, and then San Francisco. Padres, by the way, will be home just for a brief weekend series after the All-Star game against the New York Mets. Hope you're making your ticket plans. Friday, Saturday, Sunday next. One and one to the Padre catcher. And the shift is on. Only Uribe on the left side. 2 balls and a strike. Had a good pitch there to hit.
Did you see the rise in shifts recently over the years? I mean, it's
been
been
nothing like this year.
It's been unbelievable. They did a little stat on one of these shows on how the last few years it's just been over the top this year, specifically for the shifts.
Just got a piece, and it remains 2-2. Every team employing the shift on certain hitters. Gordon not that deep out at second base. And that one misses inside. One walk and 5 strikeouts for Herron with 2 outs in the third. And another foul.
Boy, Dan Herron does not overthrow. He knows his limitations. He knows what he can and cannot do. He knows he can't throw 96, 98. So he tries to back off a little bit.
Well, he's always had one of the best sliders in the game. But as you age, you work on other elements of your repertoire. High fly ball, center field. Van Slyke takes care of it. And the Padres go in order in the third. It'll be the top of the order, D. Gordon and the Dodgers in the home half of the third.
They put $150 million into renovating Dodger Stadium, and part of it is this new area where I'm standing out by the bullpens. Made this whole plaza area. Also have seating that overlooks into the bullpen, so now like a lot of stadiums, you can watch the guys warming up, enjoy a Dodger dog, and have a brewski or a social sparkler, as Mark Grant likes to call them, and watch the guys warming up. I can report from here, no Padres pitchers warming up right now, guys.
All right. That is a great location, isn't it?
It sure is.
Yeah, they really have made that a nice area to convene and talk the game and enjoy a libation and a dog. They sell, on the average, 15,000 hot dogs a game.
Wow.
And even more this year, averaging over 46,000 fans per contest. Bottom of the third, D. Gordon leads it off for the Dodgers. And a strike. Grounded to short his first time. That's in there. Dodger Stadium, third oldest major league stadium. Hard to believe.
It sure is.
I was here opening season, and then when I was the Angel announcer, the Angels played here a couple of years before Anaheim Stadium was built.
Where'd they play before? Wrigley Field?
Played Wrigley Field 1 year, and that was the home in the old Pacific Coast League days.
Right.
And then Dodger Stadium was complete, and they moved here for a couple of years before Anaheim Stadium was finished. Ground ball sharply by Gober. And D. Gordon, a speedster, is aboard.
Well, that's his MO, hitting the ball on the ground. That's why the outfield plays to go the other way. If you pitch him away, he's going to just flare it out to left field. And a lot of people right now, the Dodger dugout, and even Dodger fans, they're probably saying, oh, that's a double because of the stolen bases for D. Gordon. He's got to be going, you would think.
42 of them to lead the National League.
It's the breaky ball. It's the curve ball. Down to the zone. Down with the head of the bat. Just past the diving Jake Gobert.
And that's the advantage. Someone who can bunt and beat out infield hits. Gordon has, because Gobert was playing bag high. If he's back a couple, 3 steps, he gets that ball. Yep. But it was by him before he could react. Puig walked and scored in the first inning.
So you might see shorter breaking balls thrown to Puig with that speed on first base. The slider, the fastball, two-seamer.
Pitch out. Gordon wasn't going. Gordon leads all those teams in stolen bases. Let's see, check out the Padres. Have stolen 51, so they lead him 51-42. So you got to keep your eye on Gordon, and you fall behind Puig 2-0. This would be the time for him to go. Every time you see Puig, he's such a big man.
Yes, he is.
There he goes. Great break. Shortstop Amarista. No play at second. And they get Puig at first. Well, they had him running, and he stays out of the double play. That would have been made to order for 2.
For the Dodgers, first baseman number 23.
So Gordon, the tying run at second, and Adrian Gonzalez, the batter.
It seems like even the ground balls that Yasiel Puig hits are hard. That was a hard ground ball to short.
.59 runs batted in for Gonzalez. He produces men in scoring position. 45 runs batted in, hitting nearly 300. Better hitter with men in scoring position than when they are not. A measure of his money talent. Bring in the run. Check that cash register.
Yeah, he does a fine job of using the whole field, hitting the ball hard where it's pitched with that runner in scoring position.
Hit well to left field, but Quentin has a beat on it and gets it quickly into third base as Gordon has to check at second. 2 away, and Matt Kemp, who singled in the Dodger run in the first inning, comes up again. Kemp in the last 5 games, 9 for 18, hitting at a .500 pace. Amarista swung over into the hole about as far as you'll see a shortstop go. Look at all the room he gives him toward second base. There's the curveball.
And Dick, remember last night when Bud Black was bringing the infield in? Amarista was same on that left side. He was pitching towards the third base side, even with the infield on the grass.
This is about as close to a shift for a right-handed batter as you could get. Not a bad idea to keep Gordon close, although with 2 outs, it's less likely that he'd be stealing. 1 out, yes. Goes after the curveball. 0-2. It has so much break, that 12-6, that it looks like a strike halfway up there.
Yeah, out of the hand. You know, it doesn't have that big hump in it. Out of the hand, it's straight down towards home plate. And then that's why it's so tough to lay off. Out of the hand, the spin is so tight. Looks like a fastball coming in belt buckle high. You commit past the point and no return, and it's really tough to hold up on that swing.
Well, Gordon, the speedster, at second, 2 outs, carrying the tying run. 0-2 to Kemp. Didn't bite that time. We're talking about the injuries. How about in the last 24 hours or so? Brandon Phillips, fractured thumb, surgery. He's out 6 to 8 weeks. Yadier Molina, what a loss for the Cardinals. Right thumb sliding into a base. He's out 8 to 12 weeks and maybe longer. And Masahiro Tanaka, the Yankees, elbow problem, 6 weeks or maybe the season for him. All in the last couple of games.
Boy, 2 key players in the NL Central, huh? Phillips and Molina. That's gonna
impact.
Yeah, absolutely, no question.
Meanwhile, Pittsburgh, terrific article in USA Today, that young outfield and how talented they are. They've got 4 outfield. Their 4th outfielder is going to the All-Star game, Harrison. And they just called up former Padre Decker, Jeff Decker. Full count. So he joins that outfield crew. Decker coming up from Indianapolis.
Yeah, Pittsburgh only 3.5 games out going into today's action. That's a tight race in the NL Central. The Cubs 12 games out in the cellar at this point in time.
Well, he had him 2 strikes, and now 3-2 to Kemp with Van Slyke next.
Everything's away.
Not quite on the inside corner. Close. 3rd walk from Hahn. It's one of those cases where someone in the dugout says, how can you take that pitch?
Yeah.
He was fooled. The ball fooled him, but didn't quite get the edge of the plate. So 2 on, 2 out. Scott Van Slyke lined to center field his first time. And Darren Ball's going to go out and have a word with Jesse Hahn.
Well, we know that Scott Van Slyke likes to take a big swing. Runner in scoring position. He might be a little froggy right here in this situation. RBI situation. Maybe just a little refresher course. He flew out to center field the first time up. Might be a little breather as well.
That's a good point. It all started with Gordon's single pass first. Puig grounded out. Gonzalez line to left. Kemp walked, recovering from 0-2. So 2 on, 2 out. Padres lead 2-1. Van Slyke up.
Look at the arsenal of Jesse Hahn. Fastball heavy tonight. The breaking stuff only 37%. Like to see him command that fastball down away to the righties, though. Still having a little difficulty commanding that pitch.
Gordon teasing him with a little bigger lead out there at second base. You wonder about Scott Van Slyke and his previous years as a big leaguer, hitting only .219. Now that's in 80 games. This year at .273 with 8 home runs. 1-1. 27 years of age. Good baseball genes. His dad, Andy, major league outfielder. Breaking ball. There's Uncle Charlie.
Yeah. Even if that pitch is right down the middle, that'll buckle some right-handed hitters now.
Another one, strike 3. So Hahn pitches out of it. Nothing for the Dodgers in the third. Hahn using that curveball to strike out his third man tonight. Padres baseball brought to you by Petco, the power of together. By your San Diego Lexus dealer. And by Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. We've completed 3 innings here at Dodger Stadium on a beautiful baseball night. Padres 2 runs on 2 hits. The big blow, the 2-run home run by Alexi Amarista. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Jake Gobert leads off the top of the 4th inning. Gobert, Conrad, and Venable. Padre lineup loaded with left-handed bats tonight. Smith, Headley, Grandal, Gobert, Conrad, Venable, Amarista. The only right-handed hitter is Carlos Quentin, and the pitcher Hahn. Look at that final spray of sunset. Line drive right at Gonzalez. Tough luck for Gobert. He's hit the ball hard twice tonight. Sharply to the second baseman in the first inning, and now a laser right to Gonzalez.
Well, don't change a thing, Jake Gobert. 2 good swings, as you mentioned, Dick. Squaring both of them up. Nothing you can do. Don't try to overthink it.
Brooks Conrad struck out swinging the first time. Now 2 for 18 as a Padre, but one of the 2 a home run. Well, kudos, Mark Grant. I thought your interview with Blaine Boyer in the pregame show one of the best of the season.
Thank you very much.
What an interesting guy.
Good kid. Very good kid. Very appreciative of his second time around at the big league level. He's been through a lot, injuries, out of the game, to be with his family. It was very nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And on his 33rd birthday today. Outside, I like the comment that he made when he was with Atlanta, that John Smoltz went to him and said, hey, you're pitching like you're chained to the mound. You're like you're carrying a 300-pound backpack. Loosen up. You know,
Isn't that a great quote?
Yeah. And he said, finally, now at 33, he feels that's what he's doing. Yeah. So the count on Conrad, 3-1. High pop-up. Shallow center. Shortstop Rojas goes out and makes the play. 2 away. So that's 7 in a row retired by Herron since the home run by Amarista. Venable struck out on a wild pitch. So he was aboard for Amarista. Well, there's no Mickey Mouse reliever there.
I love Joaquin Benoit. What a good kid. You know, hey, probably a beach ball that fell in the bullpen. He's kind of using it as a little armrest.
Take that home. Strike 1 to Venable. Line drive, that's a base hit to left field. Venable leans on one, goes the other way, and the Padres have their 3rd hit of the night.
So I was mentioned a little bit earlier, if he tried to pull that pitch off of Dan Herron, it's going to be a grounder to D. Gordon at second base. Will does a fine job of just spraying it to left field for the base hit.
Venable 3 stolen bases as we look at Alexi Amarista getting into that pitch from Dan Herron. Found the sweet spot and pulled it high and deep to the right field bleachers, just in front of the bleachers. Number 3 on the season for Amarista with Venable aboard. Here's a case where you might send Venable, try to get him in scoring position, but then if you do, you walk Amarista and the pitcher's up. 1-1. Good breaking ball there. 5-game hitting streak for number 5. We're in the 4th inning here at Dodger Stadium. Amarista's 2-run homer giving the Padres a 2-1 lead. 2 outs. Venable at first. He goes, and it's outside. The throw by Butera is not in time. Venable has his 4th stolen base.
Well, let's see what they do to Amarista here now that the count is 3-1 with first base being open. Decent jump, regular leg kick. Butera kind of works underneath that one a little bit.
Rojas with a slap tag on the back of Venable, but too late as that left hand was in there. So Alexi a chance to add to the 2-1 lead. No, they're not going to give him a chance.
Time was called.
I was going to say, why is that not a balk? But there was time called. And now ball 4. Second walk from Dan Herron. So first and second, and Jesse Hahn will come up. But at the very worst, you get the weaker hitting pitcher out of there, and you start a new lineup in the top of the 5th inning. And Hahn has a hit and an RBI, albeit a little flare single to right field in New York. Struck out his first time. And that forces that pitching count higher. 80th toss coming up from Herron. Too low, 2-0. Hey, Jesse, take a hack at this one. You know, close your eyes and swing hard.
You know what? If I'm up in this situation, I might be taking a strike. What do you think, Dick?
Yeah, it probably is.
How would you take 2, maybe?
Well, 3-0. Now I would.
Yeah.
And Dan Herron can't believe he can't throw a strike to the opposing pitcher. The man that is known for his incredible control has walked 2 tonight, 1 intentional. Now down 3-0. Jesse, I'd dance around up there. Fake a bunt, do something. That's in there, 3-1. Seth Smith, the leadoff hitter on deck. And he's swinging 3-1, and the ground ball to short. Rojas takes care of the play. Padres threaten no more. And the bottom of the fourth we go. 2-1 San Diego. July. That almost looks like a baseball headed out of the ballpark. Time now for the UT San Diego standings as we take a look at the NL West with the Giants leading 4-0 and the Dodgers trailing 2-1. Should that hold up, those two teams will be tied for first tomorrow. Padres begin 11 back, only one ahead of Colorado, and Arizona 12.5 out. Our UT San Diego standings from Dodger Stadium as we go to the last of the fourth inning. Uribe, Rojas, and Butera scheduled for Los Angeles against Jesse Hahn. He was walked 3 and struck out 3. Uribe struck out swinging at a big curveball his first time.
Yeah, the key to that is to keep it out of the zone, Dick, because we both know that if you hang him a breaking ball in the zone, he could lose it on you.
Yep, he does often, doesn't he? Starts him with a fastball, bit high, ball 1.
See, late on the fastball. It's 91 out of the hand of Jesse Hahn. That ball was right down the middle, looked like.
Well, the dreaded wave has hit Dodger Stadium. Swing and a miss at the breaking pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3, and he gets Uribe again. That's number 4. Well, time now for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SDFanPhoto. Chance to have it shown in an upcoming telecast brought to you by AT&T.
Shortstop number 72, Miguel Rojas.
Miguel Rojas, the shortstop, grounded to third the first time. A couple of bouncers to Headley.
Dick, I had a question about the Angels because we were on the subject of Dodger Stadium.
Right.
Now, where was Wrigley Field? Was it in Anaheim?
Oh, no, it was in downtown L.A.
Oh, was it really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So the Angels played there before Anaheim Stadium was built.
Exactly right. When they first were formed, came out in '61, they played in Wrigley Field. When I was a kid growing up in the San Fernando Valley watching Coast League action, Hollywood Stars played over by Fairfax, more away from the heart of Los Angeles, and the Angels' home was Wrigley Field in L.A.
I bet you that was some good minor league baseball.
Oh, well, terrific.
Yeah.
I mean,
that was the big leagues of the West Coast, right?
It absolutely was, yeah. So many players went directly from the PCL to the big leagues and prospered. I can remember one. My favorite as a kid was Andy Pafko.
Oh, yeah.
With the Angels, and he went up to the Cubs and had a big career. Eventually came back here. All right. Amarista takes care of the opposing shortstop. Rojas, 2 away. And time for our Coors Banquet Timeless moment. The Dodgers in 1978, Steve Garvey would be named their most valuable players. He leads the National League to a 7-3 winner with the American League in the first All-Star game played in San Diego. The Garvmeister might be watching out there in Palm Springs, Palm Desert tonight. Drew Butera walked the first time. 2 outs, bases empty here in the 4th. A little wide, ball 1. Some of the fans, and you probably will remember as well, a very popular black and white television era, Home Run Derby. They actually,
absolutely.
Well, that was shot
Mark
at
Clark?
That was shot in Wrigley Field.
Oh, okay. Was it Mark Clark the host?
I don't remember the host.
I remember the host. I'll have to look that one up, but I remember watching that. Absolutely. Gee, Mickey, you really put a good swing on that last one, huh?
Yeah, then they come up and said with it, right?
Yeah.
2 balls and a strike. That was a very popular show. Ground ball to third. Headley there. The long throw across. And finally for Hahn, an easy inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Dodgers in the 4th. Of the trade, focusing on Seth Smith.
And let's go back to June 20th against Dan Herron, and the distance on the home runs, 400 plus, pulling the ball to the jack track and to the beach for Seth Smith on the left, home run number 1, extended right down the middle of the plate, down below the belt buckle. On the right, home run number 2 above the belt buckle. Good plate coverage from Seth Smith and putting a charge into each one of those swings.
And he hit the ball hard the last time up, but D. Gordon made a skidding play out in shallow right field to take a hit away from it. He walked the first time. He continues to put good swings, gets that barrel on the ball.
And speaking of home runs, Dick, I want to correct myself. The host of Home Run Derby back in the day at Wrigley Field in L.A., Mark Scott. Mark Scott was his name.
And he should have been paid more than he received, because to get any answers out of those guys, they'd have their turn, whatever, how many swings or how many pitches then they'd go up and sit with him, and he'd try to interview them. And it got pretty ugly at times. 1-1 to Smith. Headley and Quinton, the follower, in the top of the 5th. The Padres trying to come back after last night's tight 2-1 loss and give the Dodgers their own medicine. High breaking ball for a strike. Jesse Hahn threw 4, has allowed just 2 hits and struck out 4. Line softly into right field. That's going to fall for a base hit. Puig over to cut it off. Smith the big turn. And Seth Smith continues to rack up base hits. Leads the Padres with 72.
Third baseman, number 7.
Let's check it out of the hand of Herron. Looked like a little curveball. He stays back on it nicely and speeds up the bat, pulling that ball. That ball was down and away. Butera wanted it. See his glove? He wants it in the dirt. Well, you know what? He didn't get it there, and Seth Smith makes him pay with the base hit. It's good hitting right there by Seth.
Absolutely. Continues to impress, and it's ball 1 to Headley. He's been punched out both times, looking and swinging by Herron tonight. And takes another pitch for a strike. 1-1.
Chase wants that one back. That was a little cutter. 86. And the key to that cut fastball, you don't have to overthrow it.
Off speed curveball, and it's 2-1. You could see into the glove of Herron as he maneuvered the ball around to get the proper curveball grip. You can take a peek here.
Yeah, he sets up with that split finger grip, a good call, Dick. Then he adjusts accordingly in his glove there.
Looked like a changeup grip, and a foul ball deep down the left field side. Headley enjoying a good month of July. Hitting safely 8 out of 9 games. 359 is average. There's the story. Amarista, 2-run homer, his 3rd long ball of the year to give the Padres a 2-1 lead. And it looks as if Herron, with the pitches he's throwing, not going to go much longer than 6 tonight. And another foul clips that one into the second deck. Since Dodger Stadium was built in a natural ravine, Chavez Ravine, you come into the ballpark almost at the highest level of the grandstand behind home plate. Ooh, just missed. Full count.
Well, Dan Herron can't believe he didn't get that last pitch, and that was a cut fastball, so classify that under the breaking ball at 25%. So he's mixing it up. Any pitcher is going to be heavy on the fastball. If he's got 2 or 3 breaking balls, that's the difference.
Smith goes, and the ball is fouled at the plate. So when you first come to Dodger Stadium, you feel like, well, where is it?
Yeah.
And then you walk in at the top level, and there's actually 5 levels of seats here. One short one, the mezzanine level. We're on that level, but there's a big level right behind home plate, and you're about as high in a ballpark as you can be if you're in the last row of that 5th deck. But it's a good seat.
It's a beautiful seat.
Headley gets into one deep to center field. Let's send center fielder Van Slyke back, and he can't make the play. Running all the way is Seth Smith. Going to be a play at the plate. Here comes a throw, not in time, and the Padres add on 3-1. Headley drives one over Van Slyke's head, and Van Slyke, the ball collided center field fence, and Headley has himself an RBI double, and the Padres lead 3-1.
You know, when I first saw this play, Scott Van Slyke almost pulled a Jose Canseco only with his glove. Remember the ball off the head of Canseco over for a home run? Well, look at this one right here. He's going back, track, hits it with, he tried to flip it over with his glove, but it stays in.
Oh, that was close. Inches from a home run.
Oh, man.
And Headley will accept a RBI double, and the Padres fortified their lead 3-1. And that'll bring action from the dugout out to the mound. As Scott Van Slyke, fortunately, all right. He hit that wall full force.
Dick, you're right. This was a matter of inches. Van Slyke, he looks, he sees the wall there. Now, in desperation, he can't see it's off his glove.
Boy, he had it totally, didn't he?
And then look at that. Maybe a couple inches from going up and over the wall.
Here's another look. Double, home run, out. Oh, so close. Chris Perez throwing in the bullpen. No pitching change here. As Rick Honeycutt, the pitching coach, out to say something to Dan Herron. The Padres a single and a double and a run now, and Headley with no one out at second base for Carlos Quentin. Carlos is flied out and fouled out. Three runs, 5 hits for San Diego. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Right there for Quentin. 88 on the fastball down the middle. One and two. Carlos with his hit total on his back. 18. 4 of those home runs. '99th pitch from Herron tonight.
You know, I think a big key in the middle of the game for these Padres is to get into that Dodger bullpen as the pitch count goes up for Dan Herron, because their ERA's just a little bit under 4 for that Dodger ERA.
2-2 now to Quentin. Lifted foul back of the plate. So Herron has hit the century mark, and he does not have an out in the 5th inning. He's walked only 2, 1 intentionally, striking out 5. And the Padres have jumped on him here in the 5th inning for a run. 3-1 the score. In the dirt, blocked by Butera. Full count. As I mentioned earlier, Herron had his roughest outing of the season last time out at Colorado, when he went just over 5 innings and gave up 8 runs and 10 hits. Nothing that desperate tonight, but not sharp. And the Padres with a chance to pick up yet another run, and a 4th run. Important. Line drive, left center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. It may go all the way to the wall. Cut off by Van Slyke, but Headley scores easily, and Quentin's into second base with an RBI double, and the Padres have that 4th run. 4-1 the score. Single, double, double for San Diego. Still no one out in the 5th inning.
Catcher number 8, Yasmani Grandal.
Carlos Quentin went down and got that pitch from Dan Herron. He went down out of the zone and pulled that ball to left center field. The 2-seam fastball away on the sweet spot, gets extended nicely.
And that's going to knock Dan Herron out of the game. Chris Perez is going to come in. So Herron manages only 4 innings tonight and gives up 4 runs and is responsible for Quentin out at second base. So a break in the action, change of pitchers. Padres lead it by 3. The center field, and Van Slyke into the wall, off his glove and almost over the wall. And Headley drives in a run and then has scored himself on the double by Quinton. But that's our Bill Howe play of the game. Padres in the inning, a single to Smith and back-to-back doubles by Headley and Quinton to build their lead to 4. And when they score 4, they are 28-4 this year. And the pitching change brought to you by Drew Ford.
Well, it's probably safe to say that the Achilles heel for this Dodger team is the bullpen. Almost a 4 ERA collectively. And there you see the ERA of Chris Perez, 32-plus innings, 15 walks, and the opponent's hitting .256. He is winless. And this is the time for the Padres to make some hay. Nobody out. A runner in scoring position. Time to add on.
Yeah, there's that record of score 4 and enjoy outstanding success, 28-4. Cleanup hitter Grandal is single to left, fly to center. Quinton with the RBI double at second base.
Well, the Padre hitters, Dick, are going to have to turn up the dial against Perez. Fastball slider change. His fastball 93 to 96.
And he's ahead on the count, 2 strikes to Grandal. Try to move that runner over to third at the very worst. Give Gobert and Conrad a chance to add on and pick up that 5th run. Smith got it started with a single. .95 on that fastball. Perez just enjoyed a birthday. He's now 29. July 1st, his birthday. Pitching for Cleveland the last 5 years. And foul back. Originally, he was a first-round pick by the Cardinals 8 years ago. That was a free agent signee by the Dodgers in the offseason. Ground ball, that'll get the job done. A runner goes to third. The play by Gordon in time. Ball wasn't hit hard enough to squirt through, but Grandal advances the runner. 1 out, man at third. And Jake Gobert, who has hit the ball hard twice, a line out and a sharp ground ball to shortstop, steps up.
A good job of hooking that ball on the right side, and great range by D. Gordon.
Infield comes in. Try to cut off the run at the plate. Gobert with a chance to pick up his 4th run batted in. Those sore knees, not a lot of speed there at third base. Quinton carrying the 5th run.
I wonder if this might be somewhat of a pitch around here.
Oh, he popped him up. Shallow and left. Kemp coming in. And no chance for Quinton to tag and score. 2 away.
Oh, he had a good pitch to rip at. Just couldn't barrel it up.
Second baseman,
Brooks Conrad is struck
Conrad.
out and popped up. With 2 outs, he has a chance to add on. 4-1 Padres here in the top of the 5th inning. The infield now can move back. (4-1) Padres lead it. Have another run there at third with 2 outs. 96 on that fastball. Dan Herron charged with all 4 runs. And he's responsible for Quinton there at third. Good block by Butera.
He's blocked some good balls in the third tonight. Butera, fine job, great technique. His dad played in the big leagues, Sal Butera.
Yeah. catcher as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, Van Slyke and Butera, father-son combo, huh?
Another ball in the dirt. 2-1. See that salad in front and lettuce in the back, right?
I like it. I'm going to go with it. Good call, Professor. Nice. Yeah, the beard's becoming very popular nowadays.
And low again, 3-1. If Conrad keeps it going, it'll be Will Venable next.
That is good lettuce right there.
Putting the barbers out of business. Low strike. 3-2. A little number out to the mound. Perez has it. And the inning will come to an end. Perez stops the bleeding, but the Padres do get two. A single to Smith and doubles by Headley and Quinton. And they've grabbed up 4-1 lead at the halfway mark in this one. That's Padres baseball, brought to you by Saquon. Real friendly, real close. By Jack in the Box. Head in for the new jalapeno, ranch, or barbecue ultimate cheeseburgers. And by the Aramco Group. Purchase, refinance, reverse. Visit us at aramco.biz. Halfway mark. 4.5 in the books. The Padres lead 4-1. Jesse Hahn will face the pitcher spot, and then Gordon and Puig. And Carl Crawford comes out of hiding to pinch hit here in the 5th inning. First time we've seen him back from the injured list after a bad ankle. Hoping that he could get one of those outfield spots, but the Dodgers are overloaded at that position. Think about it. Tonight, Andre Athier's on the bench. He's not in the starting lineup, so Crawford, in essence, is their 5th outfielder. Pretty good man to bring up there, and he takes a strike.
And you would think in this situation, advantage Hahn. Crawford coming off the bench, and that's a big out to start off this 5th inning.
Ooh, there's the big curveball, 1-1. So Dan Herron goes 4 innings, allows 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 walks. He struck out 5. And Jamie Wright, the veteran right-hander, is going to come in the top of the 6th inning for LA. Big interview with Crawford in the LA Times today, and saying all the right things. That, you know, he's not going to cause trouble. Yes, he wants to play. He realizes that long season, somebody will be hurt. He'll get some other chances. He doesn't want to be a disruption.
Yep.
So, you know, all the right things were said. And inside 2-2. So Hahn presented with a 4-1 advantage here going into the 5th inning. Got him with a high heater. So Crawford's return unproductive. A strikeout for Hahn, number 5.
And as I mentioned, advantage
Hahn.
Going out of the strike zone, up. Top rung of the ladder there for the strikeout.
Leadoff hitter Gordon grounded to short, single to right. With Puig to follow. Now again, Headley at third and Gobert at first, drawn in. Gordon likes to bunt, but this one is pounded right at the second baseman Conrad for a quick out. And it's always a relief when he's off the bases. So 2 away to Yasiel Puig.
And we talked about the pitch arsenal before the game. Jesse Hahn tonight, the changeup 3%, fastball just below 60%, and the breaking ball, that curveball and slider, weighing in at 38%. So those are the exit polls. So at the end of the night, we'll have the results for you. So stay tuned.
Puig is grounded to short the last time, hit hard, and this one's a bullet to center. Wow, look how quickly that got out there. That's like teeing it up and hitting a 1-iron. Man, was that ball crushed.
For the Dodgers, number 23.
I'm glad Hahn didn't get in the way of this one.
2-seamer left out of the heart of the plate and right back at you. Boy, it looks like Jesse Hahn ducked as that ball was already past his head. That's how hard that ball was struck by Yasiel Puig.
Only the 3rd hit given up by Jesse Hahn, and that'll bring up Adrian Gonzalez. He is scary strong, Yasiel Puig. Ball 1. Gonzalez has grounded to second and line to left.
You know, even that ball he hit last night off Despagnier's leg, he didn't even barrel it up, and that ball got out there quickly, hit him in the leg, and then caromed out to shallow left field.
For a double.
Yeah.
Double off the pitcher's leg.
How many times you hear that?
That ball misses, 2-0.
Yeah, double off the wall, double down the line, double off the pitcher's leg.
Come on, you kidding me? They borrowed the Tulo call from Colorado. Gonzalez. Gonzo. Three 3-0. Matt Kemp on deck. The inning started innocently enough with Crawford, the pinch hitter, striking out. D. Gordon grounding out. And line drive single, unnerving to be sure, off the bat of Puig. And the count 3-0 now to Gonzalez. Might be swinging. Well, not at ball 4. So that brings the tying run to the plate in the form of Matt Kemp. Forced walks now for Hahn, and that'll bring Balsley out of the dugout.
Well, the one thing that I can think of when Matt Kemp hitting in this series, we go back to last night's game. Late on the fastball. Don't throw him a breaking ball for a strike. Let's see if he tries to keep it down and away here. That's the comfort zone that Darren Balsley likes to tell his pitchers. 2-seamers down and away, 4-seamers down and away, maybe even a changeup. But keep it down.
Kemp, an RBI single in the first inning for the for the Dodger run. And he walked the last time. Puig at second, Gonzalez at first. 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Only 3 hits for the Dodgers, but in position now in one swing to be even. Ball 1. Hiding places in the middle of that Dodger lineup. Puig, Gonzalez, 2 out. Sinking fastball too low, 2-0. It's 6 straight out of the strike zone for Hahn.
And with that last pitch, got a little bit of action in the Padre bullpen. Scott Van Slyke waits on deck.
Curveball. 2-0 pitch.
How about the 2-0 yacker from Jesse Hahn? Huh. Usually 2-0 fastball count. Pitchers are going to go to their comfort zone and try to locate a fastball. Jesse Hahn, how about locating just a 12-6 curveball right down the middle as Blaine Boyer starts to heat up for the Padres.
Likely we're going to see him on his birthday. Now 2-1. Strike 2. Back with a curve.
Why not throw him another one, huh?
Absolutely.
Hey, it worked the first time. How about throwing it again? And that front shoulder, front hip opening up.
Well, he's been missing with a fastball.
Yep.
Maybe 3 breaking balls in a row. Here it comes. 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 the count. Another one, and it's pulled foul.
That one was left on the inside part of the plate. Remember, he walked last time up. That curveball was on the inside, off the plate just a little bit. That was that pitch right there. Very tough pitch to keep fair.
This is what makes baseball so great. There are a lot of players. There are 18 of them, but it comes down to mano a mano. Hahn or Kemp, who wins this battle? 2-2. Struck him out on a curveball. Oh my, what a pitch that is. And the Dodgers lead 2. Strikeout number 6 for Jesse Hahn in trouble. Takes care of Matt Kemp, and we go to the 6th inning. The Padres in front by 3. Jamie Wright, age 39, continuing his career as a starter and now a top bullpen man for many seasons. Top of the 6th inning. Padres 4, Dodgers 1. Venable struck out wild pitch and scored on Amarista's home run back in the 2nd inning. Singled to left field and stole his 4th base the last time up. Amarista and the pitcher's spot to follow. Carl Crawford stays in the game, replaces Kemp in left field. Very deep for the left-handed hitting Venable is Crawford, almost to the warning pen. Two and one to Venable. Padres 2 runs in the 2nd on the Amarista 2-run homer and 2 more in the 5th inning on a single by Smith and RBI doubles Headley and Quinton. Center field, and that's falling in front of Van Slyke, and Venable has his 2nd hit. First Padre with more than one.
Batting next, number 5, Alexi Amarista.
And it brings up Amarista.
In the bottom of the order, making some noise for the Padres tonight. Jamie Wright, boy, he throws everything. When I say everything, it's everything up there. And Will Venable short and quick to that one. That was a cutter out of the hand of Jamie Wright. That's pretty much his main pitch. Cutter, curveball, change, fastball, slider.
Amarista, his 3rd homer of the season, a 2-run shot back in the 2nd over the right field barrier, and he was intentionally walked the last time. Venable with a stolen base his last time aboard, his 4th of the year. That opens up the hole with the first baseman Gonzalez holding on. Venable. See a little avenue there for Amarista to aim at. Oh, and 1.
Shoot it right through there, huh, Dick?
That's it. That's it right there. Keep away from the double play.
Yeah, get something off speed. Speed up his bat possibly, and a little 1st and 3rd action. But you have to be aware of that arm in right field of Yasiel Puig.
Oh, he loves to have a chance to throw.
You should see him throw out the garbage at home.
Next door neighbors are complaining. High fly ball, right field line, long run for Puig. He's going to get there, and in foul territory makes the catch. Now 1 out.
Pitcher number 45.
And Jesse Hahn will hit for himself. Hahn has thrown 82 pitches, so Padres feel he's got at least another good inning left. They'd like to get to the 7th inning off their starter.
Yeah, so stretching it out, huh, for Jesse Hahn. Last time out was the most pitches that he's thrown since being in the big leagues. That was 101 pitches against the Giants.
Might be up there to sacrifice. Seth Smith due next.
Yeah, he's going to be bunting right here.
Uribe, look how close he is at 3rd base. Better check your dental plan.
He's playing a little league 3rd base, isn't he? That's why you want to bunt it down the 1st base line.
As Gonzalez is forced to hold on the runner. And bunted foul. Good legs at first and Venable. Gives himself up early. Seth Smith with a single and a walk and another hit taken away from him on a good play by Gordon at 2nd.
You know, with 1 strike, you could pull the old butcher boy on him.
Yeah, good call. Can't get it away from Uribe, however. And Hahn will be safe on the fielder's choice. Well, they're going to call Venable safe at second base as well. So that becomes a good play. Faked the bunt, pulled it back. The Butcher Boy didn't hit it very hard, but it was a tough play for Uribe. And Venable hustles into second. Let's see the play again.
As soon as contact was made, Will was off and running. Uribe, forced play. He was not on the bag, it didn't look like. Looked like he didn't have his foot on the bag for the force. Yeah, he's well off the bag there. Second base umpire Jim Wolf all over it. Like a wolf on a pork chop. And he gets the call right.
And Hahn hustling all the way, able to beat the relay. So on the fielder's choice, Venable safe at second, Hahn at first for Seth Smith. A walk, hard hit ball to second. Gordon made a good play and a single to center to start the 2-run 5th inning. And that ball gets away, and both runners will advance. Venable to third, and Hahn to second on the wild pitch. Yanked that one.
He most certainly did. A breaking ball, and Gutierrez blocked some good balls behind the plate tonight. This one gets away from because it's so far inside. Don Mattingly will bring the infield in with 1 out.
Veteran right. He's been with 10 major league teams in his 19 seasons. They have a chance to build on that 4-1 lead. They're not going to take a chance on Smith. They'll walk him intentionally. And the bases will be loaded for Chase Headley. Venable at third, Hahn at second. Smith takes first base on the intentional pass.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
Third baseman, Chase Headley.
Headley doubled off the center field fence the last time. He struck out the first 2 at-bats against Dan Herron. Chance to do some serious damage here in the 6th. Padre over every pillow. '90 on the fastball strike at the knees. Bases loaded this year. Gosh, it's only had 4 chances with the bases loaded. 2 for 4.
Make the most of it right here.
And he's down on the count of 2 strikes.
2 cut fastballs to Chase Headley. Remember, Herron got him on the cut fastball the first at bat, getting him looking. That was in the first inning. That was a cut fastball down and in.
One out, bases full. Chop toward the mound. They'll go to the plate for the force, and Headley will be safe on the fielder's choice. So the bases remain loaded, but 2 outs now in the 6th inning.
Well, bases are loaded. Jamie Wright throws a lot of cut fastballs. Strike 1. Just moving in a little bit more. Tough to keep fair. Strike 2. Big looping curveball, and that's the old 1-2 play. Shovel pass. Good hard slide by Will Venable into home plate, but it's a force.
And the Padres had a man at third, 1 out last inning, couldn't add to their 4-1 lead, and now bases loaded, 1 out. Can't score on an out. It's up to Quentin. Doubled to left center field to drive in a run the last time. Ball 1. Four career slams for Carlos. Maybe the second time all season he's been up with the bases loaded. Ground ball by Gordon into right field. That's going to score 2 more. And the throw to third, and Headley is out, but he slowed up enough so that they could get the second run in. And Quinton delivers. It is 6-1 Padres. The second and third RBIs of the game for Carlos Quinton. So the Padres get the bases loaded and a key 2-out single the opposite way from the veteran Quinton in a 5-run Padre lead. By Southwest Airlines. Find Southwest Airlines fares online only at southwest.com. By Petco, the power of together. And by your San Diego Lexus dealer. With Mark Grant, Chris Button, Matt Kemp's broken bat, Dick Enberg, bottom of the 6th inning, and San Diego extending its lead to 6-1 on the 2-out, 2-run single off the bat of Carlos Quinton. And Chase Headley thrown out by a bunch. That was a giveaway with Puig's arm in right field. He had no chance, so he just put on the brakes and took the tag out, made sure that second run had crossed home plate. So Hahn on the bases and scored his first major league run, by the way. Hopefully it didn't take anything out of his legs as he tries to get through 6 innings. He'll face Van Slyke, Uribe, and Rojas in the Dodgers 6th.
Hey, it's nice for the rookie pitcher, Jesse Hahn, to have some breathing room as he goes into his 6th inning of work. Boy, he's got the yacker. He's got Uncle Charlie. He's got it working tonight.
Looking for his 5th win of the year, and 3-0 on the road is Jesse Hahn. Gave up the run back in the 1st inning, a walk, a ground out, and a single. And Slyke has lined to center and struck out, and he sends this one high in the air behind shortstop. And Amarista makes the play.
Saturday, it's a full day of baseball action, beginning with the Cardinals taking on the Brewers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's Baseball Night in America on Fox as Mike Trout and the Angels take on the Rangers. Then on Fox Sports San Diego, right here, Chase Headley and the Padres take on the Dodgers and Yasiel Puig. That all starts at 6:30 p.m. A full day of baseball on FOX Fox.
We know it'll be Ian Kennedy on the mound for the Padres. The Dodgers being very secretive about their starter tomorrow. It was Josh Beckett's turn in the rotation. He's been placed on the DL. The guess is it'll be the veteran Paul Mahallam who will get an occasional start. He's been in the bullpen. Here's Kennedy, one of the strikeout leaders in the league. Pitched so well in Colorado. Uribe, count quickly, 2 strikes on him. He is fanned both times. A curveball getting the veteran right-handed hitter. Let's see if he gets another one right here. Long, lanky Jesse Hahn. That's a good pitch. Fastball tried to just nibble that paint on the outside edge. And the breaking ball cued foul. Barely got the head of the bat on that breaking pitch. Did he go? That was close.
Oh, you know what I'm going to say.
Of course, you don't even need the replay. I might agree with you on this one. Matt Kemp, his night's work done. 2-2 the count to Uribe. Hung that curveball and got away with it. 90th pitch coming up from Jesse. Fastball popped up. Foul territory, a play for Gobert. And there's 2 away. That'll bring up Miguel Rojas.
For the Dodgers, shortstop number 72, Miguel Rojas.
Well, it's 6 starts this year. You talk about pitches per start. 92 tonight, 90. And you know what? If he goes a solid 6, like it looks like he's going to go right here with a 6-1 lead and turn it over to the bullpen, that is a good night in the big leagues for the youngster.
It will be a continuation of the starters' domination in the last 11 games. There's a curveball strike to Rojas, who has grounded out twice. Should Hahn get out of this inning with only 1 run allowed in his 6 innings, it'll make 11 consecutive games where the starters have given up 14 runs. 11 games, 14 runs from Padres starters.
That's great.
And a batting average of .202. Dodgers have only 3 hits tonight, so probably under 200. 1-1 the count. Oh man, that is a wicked curveball. Knee buckler.
Is that a beautiful thing?
Poetic. Way outside with the fastball. He hasn't been as sharp with the fastball as previous outings, but the curveball has been his best friend once again.
And as I mentioned a couple starts ago, if he can harness that control on the outside part of the plate to right-handers, you take a look at the Arsenal breakdown. Still heavy on the fastball. That breaking ball at 40%. Hey, a lot of those have been for strikes. Predominantly the curveball.
Weak swing and a soft ground ball to second. Conrad takes care of business, and Hahn completes a 1-2-3 6th inning, and the Padres enjoy a 6-1 lead. SD fan photo for you. Tweet your photo to hashtag SD fan photo. A chance to be shown in an upcoming telecast brought to you by AT&T. And there's a beauty. There's a champion, California Chrome, the winner of the Kentucky Derby and the Preakness. California Chrome getting ready for the Breeders' Cup. And we are getting ready for our special 2-hour edition opening day at Del Mar. That's next Thursday at noon here on Fox Sports San Diego. You don't want to miss that. Not only at the start of the racing season, there's a lot of good-looking things to follow there. Not just the thoroughbred stars. There are lots of stars on opening day.
That's when they break out the hats, right? It's like a hat day at Del Mar.
It's a fashion show. Padres lead 6-1. We go to the 7th inning. Jamie Wright still on the mound. Grandal leads it off. A single and 3 at bats tonight, and 0-2 the count. Yeah, the thing I like about going to Del Mar, I mean, it's just such a beautiful place to watch racing,
sure.
and it's an ambiance that is, it's Southern California. It's got a Spanish feel. And it's not just the margaritas that make me feel that way. Strikeout, the Grandal, one away, Gobert. But I think one of the best pieces of literature that anyone can buy is a racing form, because there'll be 9 races, maybe 10 on opening day. It gives you all the winners. Right. They're all in there.
Right.
You just got to find them.
That's right.
It's so great. You know there's a winner there, and they give it right to you. Oh, you have to pay, I don't know what it is now, $6 for a form. Talk about getting lost away from the world. What you have to do, and then that trifecta, you make the big dollars on those. What you have to do is,
give me a tip here.
Well, you got to bet your age.
Your age?
No, I'm teasing. I don't think you're at 3 figures yet.
No.
No, trifecta means what you do is you box 4 horses. Okay. Bet $2, box 4 horses. And if any 3 of those 4 finish 1, 2, 3, then you win the bet. So what you do is you throw a long shot in there, hope that comes in. Broken bat, grounder to second base, and Gobert is out 4-3. 2 away here in the 7th. And Brooks Conrad 0-for-3 steps up. One of the greatest things that happened at Del Mar, they'll ask the pseudo celebrities for the feature race to go down and present the trophy and 2 dozen roses and that sort of thing. And a couple times they've asked me, and one time it was a big race and 3 horses came roaring down the stretch, eyeball to eyeball. I mean, they're bumping each other, they're all at the wire, their noses at the same time. Who's going to win this thing? Swing and a miss. I'm with my wife, and there's a double inquiry. They're trying to figure out who bumped whom and what nose got on.
Right.
And it took so long that finally the trainer said, we can't keep our horses out there. So they took all the horses back to the barn. While they're sorting it out, the stewards are sorting out who won the race. Filed away. And finally, they come to me and say, hey, give the trophy to us. We'll present the trophy to the owner. But take the 2 dozen red roses and give them to your wife. So I go up and I give Barbara these long stem, beautiful 2 dozen red roses. She goes to the window to collect. She had bet on the race. And everyone's saying, congratulations. They think she's the winning owner. And she said, I'm not going to argue. She said, thank you very much. Thank
nice.
You. What a race. She gets up to the window and the guy says, nice going, great win. And then he looks at the ticket and said, $2 to win. Blew her cover. Strike 3. Conrad is out of there. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jamie Wright. Excuse me, I got to go to the window and collect. Max Mitchell, I got the winner.
Dr. Vance, it's time for Nancy B to lead us in the 7th-inning stretch.
Padres leading 6-1. And our San Diego fans of the game here at Dodger Stadium and saluting the youngsters. And there's a Padre fan and another. As the San Diegans have a chance to celebrate a nice lead, 6-1. Irving Falou has entered the game for the Padres, replacing Conrad at second base. And the new pitcher on his 33rd birthday is Blaine Boyer. Look at those zeros.
Yeah, he's been throwing the ball extremely well. The fastball is in the mid-90s, maybe a tick a little higher.
Well, Drew Butera is the first hitter for the Dodgers in the 7th. And the first pitch strike at 93.
Just an all-around feel-good story, Blaine Boyer.
Falou now at second. This is the 27th right-handed batter that he's faced since being called up. He has not allowed a hit or a walk to a right-handed hitter, 26 in a row. 0-2 the count. 13 2/3 innings. Total, no runs and 3 hits.
And there's the proof, Dick.
Only the lefty's getting a base knock. I just exuded joy and happiness in your interview. You immediately liked Blaine Boyer.
Absolutely. He's the kind of kid you root for, right?
Absolutely. High fly ball to right center field. And this may be the hit. A long run, and that ball's off the wall. Venable plays to Karam, and Butera into second base with a double. Well, Clayton Kershaw had his streak end last night. 26 straight right-handed hitters out, but not Butera, the leadoff, the 7th. Only the 4th Dodger hit tonight. So Jesse Hahn goes 6 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts.
Well, Butera does a nice job of this four-seam fastball. He's just trying to challenge him. And Blaine Boyer's thinking, okay, number 8 in the order. I'm going to just challenge him. And this ball hitting off the wall, oh, not far from a home run, maybe a foot.
That was very close to going the distance.
Right on the horns there. On the bull. He hit the bull.
Carl Crawford struck out as a pinch hitter, stayed in the game. And ball 1. And the top of the order, Gordon and Puig, the 2 All-Stars to follow. Yeah, it's what that 2 runs scored by the Padres in the 6th inning, looming very large at the moment. Two and 0. I liked his answer, Boyer, when he went to the Japanese League for a year. You know, what you ask him, what did he learn? He said, I learned I really love America.
Yep.
And also fully embraced the experience of being in a foreign country. Crawford fouls it back.
94 on the fastball, good location, down and away with a little bit of movement there at the end.
Crawford hitting .267 and then was injured. 4 home runs. (6-1) the Padres lead, but a leadoff double by Butera. The Dodgers have the fans here at Dodger Stadium excited, and the count 2-1 to Carl Crawford. 3-1. Don't want to walk hitters when you have a 5-run lead. Oh, he did. So a double and a walk, 2 on, with no one out here in the Dodgers 7th inning.
Second baseman.
Let's go back to our keys to the game, brought to you by your Honda dealers of San Diego County. Mark?
Well, clean up the defense tonight. Padres errorless. Last night, 4 errors in the 2-1 loss. Big hits with runners on base. The Padres tonight, a couple of doubles, a home run with runners on, and that plays huge. And that's where we stand, 6-1 here in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, that's a good insight again from Mark Grant, our keys to the game.
Thank you, sir.
D. Gordon, a walk and a single and a couple of groundouts, 1 for 3. And ball 1. Kevin Quackenbush starts throwing for the Padres. Lane Boyer having trouble locating that fastball in the strike zone. First and second, Dodgers, no one out. There's a strike on the outside corner.
As we see Quackenbush heat up, Blaine Boyer's got such good stuff that he doesn't have to try to make the perfect pitch. He could knock the bat out of the hands of D. Gordon. Outfield playing to go the other way. You'd like to see a grounder here. Very tough to double up, though.
Late swing there, and a count goes to 1-2. Ciel Puig will be next. Line drive, foul. Late on the swing again, 94 on the fastball. Alex Torres joins Kevin Quackenbush. Willie Blair, the bullpen coach out there with the clipboard, scouting reports on the potential hitters to be faced should a call come for relief.
Yeah, thinking 2 down the line, Adrian Gonzalez. After D. Gordon, Puig, from the Dodger first baseman.
Line drive, Headley goes to second, back to first. And that was between a catch and a short hop. And some confusion by the base runners. But it turns out he one-hopped it, and they get only 1 out with the speed of Gordon.
I'll tell you what, that was inches away from a triple play.
You're right.
If he catches this, it's a triple play. But it's a short hop, force at second base, trying to double up, but Gordon's way too fast.
Yeah, both runners were trapped well away from the base had that been caught by Headley.
And even though Gobert could not find the handle on that one, Gordon beats it out with his speed.
On the play, Butera goes to third, and the speedy Gordon now at first base, and Bud Black wants to make certain that that ball was not caught cleanly. So here comes Puig, runners at first and third.
Right fielder number 66, Yasiel.
You know, it looked like Chase didn't really give much of an argument, right?
Well, he would have really argued had he thought he picked that one cleanly. Infield, of course, with a 6-1 lead, will play back. And Puig up with 2 on, runners at the corners. Butera at third and Gordon at first. Puig walked and scored back in the first inning, came in on Matt Kemp's single. He grounded sharply to short and then lined a single to center field the last time up. Clothesline shot to center. Misses with a fastball again. "33 years of age on this July 11th, Blaine Boyer. Right center field, and no one's going to catch that one. All the way to the wall. Butera scores, and Gordon with his speed streaking around third. He will hold, and it's a 6-2 game as Puig delivers again. His 51st RBI of the season.
I tell you what, there's nothing like seeing a hitter square up a baseball, a hitter who's some kind of strong, and send it to the opposite field. I mean, we all love to see the ball pulled, a home run, ball down the line. But that ball caught too much of the plate, and we know that Yasiel Puig has got some serious power to all fields, and it was displayed right there for his 26th double of the year.
So hardly an inning to celebrate on your birthday. A couple of doubles and a walk and a run given up by Blaine Boyer, and the Dodgers have runners at second and third as the Padres make a pitching change.
And as a reminder, Tuesday it's coming up, folks. Baseball's best gather in Minnesota as the captain, Derek Jeter of the Yankees, takes the field in his last All-Star game ever in what promises to be an emotional and unforgettable night. Special coverage begins at 1:30 Pacific on Fox Sports 1, followed by the 2014 All-Star game at 4:30 Pacific on Fox. Don't miss it.
And tonight, the Dodgers clawing away at the 6-1 lead, now 6-2, and with Puig's double, he's at second. And over third, D. Gordon, plenty of speed aboard, and Alex Torres comes in to face Adrian Gonzalez. Torres has done a good job. There is a but, however, and that is that he's walked 22 men in his 35 innings.
For Alex Torres, lefties hitting a 185, 10 for 54.
Gonzalez has grounded to second, line to left, and walked tonight. RBI with a sacrifice fly last night. Fly ball to left, that'll get a run home. Gordon tagging, Quinton with a catch, and both men tag and into third, and they're going to get him. Oh, a risky play by Puig. He runs into an easy out as Quinton throws him out, and that's what Yasiel Puig is. You'll marvel at his great talent in hitting, and then he'll make a baseball goof like that. Runs the Dodgers out of the inning. They get 1 and 2, and it's now 6-3. The Padres lead after 7. Good assist by Carlos Quinton. Oh, my Puig. gets the advantage. Even if he makes it to third, there's still 2 outs. There's no real advantage, and he runs himself into an out and takes the Dodgers out of the inning, thankfully, for the Padres. It's 6-3 now.
Yes.
Fly ball, but that's the shortest distance. Quinton to third base.
Yeah, like you said, Dick, with 2 outs, he's got the speed to score on a base hit anyway.
Yeah. So that's what he does. I mean, you talk to those that cover the Dodgers, and they just scratch their head. You don't know what he's going to do next. It's not always the right thing.
Yeah, you know what? And there's a difference between baseball talent, which he has. I mean, the ceiling,
time.
you know. But then there's
nice ground ball deep into the hole. Can Venable beat it out? The long throw, and he does have a hit. That's his 3rd hit tonight. Venable having an excellent evening. He struck out, but he reached safely on a wild pitch and scored an Amarista's home run, and he singled 3 straight times since. And here is the home run hitter, Alexi Amarista, 2-run shot off Heron, first time up.
Oh, Rojas played this perfectly. It was just the speed of Will Venable, the difference. Not even close.
Padres collecting their 9th hit tonight. And here's Amarista, 2-run homer, walked intentionally and fouled out to right field. San Diego 6, LA 3 here in the 8th.
You know, getting back to Puig. Talent, unbelievable. Well, there's another kid who's got great talent, Mike Trout, but he's got good baseball instinct. It's going to take a while probably for Yasiel Puig to get to that, to learn the game and do and don'ts. It might take some time.
You know, the old risk and reward. There's high risk in that play,
Sure.
no reward really, except for the Padres getting the final out. In fact, that becomes a double play, doesn't it?
Yes.
So Amarista up there to sacrifice Venable alone, try to get one of those runs back as Joaquin Benoit gets loose in the Padre pen. Good bunt. Good play made to first base by J.P. Howell with Gordon covering. Sacrifice Amarista, and that'll give the Padres a couple of shots at bringing in the 7th run of the game.
Second baseman, number 1, Irving Falou.
Irving Falou hitting in the 9th spot of the order in the double switch made by Bud Black. Comes up for the first time, with Seth Smith to follow. Falou, a switch hitter, with the Padres 0 for 3 from the right side. His 3 hits are from the left side, 3 for 13. Be nice to buy a little insurance here. Just another run. As Ryan Wilson begins to tune up. Soft ground ball to second. Easy play for Gordon, and that's the 2nd out. And we'll bring up Seth Smith. Walk. Robbed of a hit by Gordon at second.
12,
Singled and scored. And intentional walk and scored. Venable over at third base. They're meeting at the mound, Butera and Howell. Figures that Howell, the lefty, is going to stay in to pitch to Smith, with Wilson continuing to throw in the bullpen. Headley on deck. Padres 6, Dodgers 3. Dodgers scored first in the first inning. Amarista's 2-run homer made it 2-1 in the second. Then the Padres got 2 in the fifth and 2 in the sixth to make it 6-1, and the Dodgers 2 in the last of the seventh. Strike one.
Looked like Hanley Ramirez in the Dodger dugout was getting ready to do something next half inning as he's talking with skipper Don Mattingly. At the pitcher spot leading off in the eighth, bottom half of the eighth for the Dodgers.
1-1. Pitcher spot being the number 4 position in the batting order. Giants are shutting out Arizona tonight, so Dodgers are already playing scoreboard. They lead San Francisco by 1 coming into tonight's play. 2-1 to Seth. That is the final. The Giants have won. In the dirt, and 3-1 to Smith with Headley next.
Looks like a fastball away right here from Powell.
Up the middle and playing over behind second was Rojas, and he makes the play. Boy, they hit the ball hard. They had him positioned just right, and Smith makes the final out 6-3. We go to the last of the 8. Game summary. In the second, Alexi Amarista with a man aboard, a third home run of the season to give the Padres a 2-1 lead. Chase Headley with a shot to center off the glove of Scott Van Slyke, and that drove in another run. Made it 3-1, and Quinton followed with a double to left center, 4-1. That was in the fifth inning, and the Padres got 2 more in the sixth inning. The key blow, Carlos Quinton's 2-run single with the bases loaded. Brought home both Jesse Hahn and the leadoff man Seth Smith. The Dodgers, however, Yasiel Puig ripped one to right center. That made it 6-2, and then a sacrifice fly by Adrian Gonzalez. that became a double play when Puig ran into an out at third base. So it's 6-3. And Joaquin Benoit comes in to pitch for the Padres here in the 8th inning, trying to atone for a rare tough outing for Benoit in Colorado when he gave up a couple of home runs in that 6-3 win on Wednesday.
Yeah, that was a hiccup for Joaquin as you take a look at the numbers. And I mentioned it on that date. I'll take that hiccup once every 36 games for the right-hander, huh? Good numbers.
Andre Ethier to pinch hit for the pitcher Howell. Pretty good when you have on the bench Hanley Ramirez and Andre Ethier and Carl Crawford. So Ethier, then Van Slyke and Uribe here in the last of the 8th. Ethier hitting an even .250 on the season with 4 home runs. Kenley Jansen throwing for the Dodgers. And we would imagine soon it'll be Houston Street getting ready for the Padres. There's Jansen, their closer. Two and one. And that 3-3 tie in Colorado in the 8th inning. Benoit gave up a single to Blackman and Drew Stubbs the opposite field home run, followed by Tulowitzki's homer. That ended 19 straight shutout performances by Benoit out of the pen. And 3-1. Well, you can see the heavy action on his ball. Houston Street getting ready. 9th inning may it be calling. Full count now to Ethier.
Well, outfield play to go the other way. Seems like Benoit throwing the changeup, throwing the two-seamer away, and they're playing.
Deep in all fields. All 4. Not the way the Padres wanted this 8th inning to start. Ethier aboard for Scott Van Slyke.
You know, by the way, Grandal caught that ball where he was set up. He had to reach up and across. I bet you that was a strike, but he didn't get the call because the way the ball was caught. Well, it's a walk, and now Benoit's got some work to do.
Van Slyke, line to center, struck out and popped to short. And he gets the strike call there. And indeed, Southland Technology, Fox Track says strike one. One and one. Infield set for 2. Falou very close to second base. Big hole on the right side for Van Slyke. And way out of the strike zone. 2-1. Walks Ethier on the 3-2 pitch. Now 2-1 to Van Slyke. Tying run in the on deck circle. 6-3 Padres here in the 8th. High heat at 95. Joaquin Benoit, the fourth pitcher used tonight. Jesse Hahn went a brilliant 6 again. Only 1 run and 3 hits. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ground ball through that right side. It was wide open. Ethier will stop at second. The first 2 men on for the Dodgers here in the 8th inning. And the tying run comes to the plate. That just was such an inviting right side. Nobody over there.
Out of the hand, 4-seamer down and away, and Van Slyke doesn't try to pull, hitting right on top of that ball, keeping it on the ground. Nice piece of hit by Scott Van Slyke.
That brings up Juan Uribe, who has struck out twice and fouled to first. Dangerous if you make a mistake. Uribe representing the tying run here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Inside, and he got it up over the plate. This Friday night crowd at Dodger Stadium trying to rally the home team. They were down 6-1. Now 6-3, no one out, 2 men aboard. There's a changeup and a good one.
And a beauty, you betcha. Split in the heart of the plate, but down out of the zone, swinging right over the top of it. Looks like a fastball. Actually, a changeup way out in front.
Benoit has the count in his favor, 2 strikes.
You don't have to throw him a strike here. Yasmani Grandal, be on your toes for 1 in the dirt.
Went inside and tied him up. 0-2. Young Miguel Rojas, the shortstop, on deck.
I think Uribe may have fouled that ball off his toe. That 2-seamer inside from Benoit.
Studying the 2-strike possibilities here. Benoit wants his catcher to go through the signs again. Ethier looking in from second base. Van Slyke at first. Oh, now they're at second and third on the wild pitch. Goes the double play.
Well, it's the changeup, and this ball on the bounce. Well, Yasmani just doesn't get in front of it. He's set up away. It leaks inside, right up the left wrist, shoulder. Free 90 feet for 2 Dodger runners.
Going out, second and third, and 1 and 2. Uribe. stays at 1 ball, 2 strikes. Uribe still wincing after getting that foul tip off his foot.
I don't know whether he's really hurt or is he kind of setting up Joaquin Benoit. Hey, bring that in there again. I'm going to turn on it. Who knows? He turned on that last fastball there, fouled it back.
8th here at third. Van Slyke at second. No one out here in the 8th. Struck him out. Changeup got him. 1 away. Big strikeout for Benoit.
Shortstop number 72.
Miguel Rojas has rounded out the second, short, and third tonight.
And it's the hat trick tonight for Juan Uribe on the changeup, swing and a miss. Big first out for Joaquin Benoit and the Padres. Check out the arsenal of the right-hander. Fastball, changeup, breaking ball.
A lot of changeups, huh?
Yep.
More than a third of his pitches. A.J. Ellis is in the on-deck circle. Drew Butera, the starting catcher, due next. High strike, 95. Good-looking young Dodger infielder, Rojas. Don Mattingly letting him hit in a crucial spot here with runners at second and third and 1 out late in the game.
Oh, he's slowing it down a little bit, huh, for Joaquin Benoit?
Well, he's deliberate plus. One ball, 1 strike. Miguel Rojas. Runners at second and third, and the Padres clinging to a 6-3 lead here in the home half of the 8th inning in L.A. Down the middle, and he fouls it away. Ooh, he got a good pitch there.
Couldn't catch up to the 96-mile-an-hour heat. He wanted it in, and on contact, you betcha, Dick, right down the middle. Tough to square that up, though, at 96. And Southland Technology, yeah, middle in.
So Benoit, after striking out Uribe, has the count 1-2 on young Rojas. And he got him to go. Ball was in the dirt, but the changeup fooled him. So a couple of big strikeouts by Benoit with runners at second and third. So no one out to 2 out.
Joaquin Benoit reaching back and getting nasty with 2 runners in scoring position. Well, thank goodness Yasmani Grandal stays down just enough. He came up on that ball a little bit, got it in the webbing. Applies the tag for the strikeout. 2 strikeouts in a row.
Here's the pinch hitter, veteran catcher A.J. Ellis. Ellis started last night, was 0 for 3. Takes a lot of pitches. Second and third, 2 outs. Doesn't take that one and rips it way foul, but got good wood on it.
Strike 1. You think he was looking for the fastball in?
A little too eager.
Yeah.
12 at bats this season, and Ellis only delivering 6 runs batted in. 2 of them out there for him here in a 6-3 game. Oh, chases the slider, and it's 0-2. All right, now you're Benoit. You've got the hitter in the hole, 2 strikes. What do you think?
I'm throwing changeup, maybe down and away. He does have good control of that changeup. You know, so many avenues open up here when it is 0-2. But one thing's for sure, Yasmani Grandal, you got to get down, get dirty, and block that pitch if it's in fact in the dirt. Slider.
Chased the last time, but not on that one. 1-2 the count. You would think that the fastball on the outside corner might work after the slider, showing the slider away. Little two-seamer.
I think if he bounced the changeup here over the heart of the plate low, I think you got a swing and a miss coming.
The dirt, 2-2. Ellis true to form, working the count, 4 pitches. Ethier at third, Van Slyke at second. They've been there for a while. While Benoit struck out Uribe and Rojas. Now 2-2 to A.J. Ellis. Hanley Ramirez is in the on-deck circle. Check that. It's Crawford, who hit 9th, pinch hit earlier in the game. Big pitch right here with 2 on, 2 out, and 2 on A.J. Ellis. Low and away, says Grandal. Too much time taken by Benoit. Ball 3. Changeup.
Yep. Hey, do you get the sense when Benoit comes set, it's like you're kind of lunging, you're kind of jumping because you want him to, and I think that's somewhat what a hitter goes through too, right? That's got to be unsettling for a hitter when the pitcher comes set for a long time.
Now, this inning began with a walk to Ethier. Ellis is the one you want to get out here. You got a tough guy coming up next, Carl Crawford, and a left-handed hitter. Full count on the the starting catcher, but back up tonight. He was down on the count, 2 strikes. Second and third, 2 outs for the Dodgers. Ellis representing the tying run. Did he go? No. Bases are loaded. A couple of walks and a single have loaded them up for the Dodgers. Time runs on, and the go-ahead score represented by Crawford stepping to the plate.
Oh, he went.
Darren Mosley out to chat with the battery and the infield. The walks, there's no way you can defend those. The Dodgers taking advantage of them loaded up.
Well, the thing here for Joaquin Benoit is he's been around the block. He's pitched in big games. He's pitched in the playoffs, postseason. He's been in this situation before. He is calm. He is cool. He is collected. That's one of the attributes he has that has been so successful in his career.
Ethier, Van Slyke, and now Ellis aboard. And Carl Crawford ended the game as a pinch hitter back in the 5th inning, struck out, and he walked the last time. So the drama gets pretty thick here in the 8th inning, with the Padres leading 6-3 and the Dodgers with the bases drunk. Fouled away. Benoit's had the better of Crawford through the years. 2 for 16 is all Carl's been able to collect off the big right-hander. Benoit jumps in front of the hitter, 2 strikes. Kevin Quackenbush has been up a couple of times tonight. The outfield all back. Doubles prevent defense. With that tying run at first base carried by Ellis. What an inning. A walk, a single, a strikeout after a wild pitch put runners at 2nd and 3rd, and now a walk to load him up. And 2 strikes now on Carl Crawford. Ground ball is short. And Arista to second, and the inning comes to an end. Take a deep breath. The Dodgers leave them loaded. And coming up in the top of the 9th inning, Carlos Quentin. He's knocked in 3 runs tonight with a double and a bases loaded single. And Joaquin Benoit was theatrical, a little too exciting for those down in the Padre dugout, but he leaves them stranded, bases loaded. And in the top of the 9th inning, the Padres have Headley, Quinton, and Grandal ready. Tomorrow, hope you'll join us. 6:30 our TV time here on Fox Sports San Diego. Ian Kennedy having a terrific strikeout season and seems to have improved with each outing. Former Huntington Beach high school star and collegiate over at the University of Southern California. He'll be on the mound for the Padres. Dodgers have yet to announce. Well, I guess now, according to our graphic, it'll be Paul Maholm, the veteran left-hander. So, game 3 of the 4-game series should be a good one. He'll come in at 6:30. Van Slyke moves to left field. Ethier stays in the game, and he'll play center field. And Ellis now will pull on the mask behind the plate. And Kenley Jansen, hard throwing right-hander, comes in from the bullpen. Headley struck out twice, then doubled off the center field wall and safe on a fielder's choice the last time. Has knocked in a run and scored a run. Then Quinton and Grandal. And a ground ball rolled to the second baseman Gordon, and 1 pitch, 1 out. Carlos Quinton had a good night after flying out and fouling out. Doubled in a run to left center field, and with the bases loaded, singled to right field. Those are the runs that are the difference in the game now.
You know, it just occurred to me with Kenley Jansen out there on the hill. He's got the good fastball, the cutter. I'm wondering, I'm going to ask Chase Headley if he ever had thought about batting right-handed against Kenley Jansen. To take that cutter away rather than, because he just got sawed off big time on that pitch. Just a thought.
He's done it to other right-handed pitchers. Turned it around, hit right-handed.
Yeah, R.A. Dickey, Josh Colmenter, and Houston Street getting loose in the Padre bullpen.
Save situation. Unless the Padres score here in the top of the ninth. 2-0 to Quinton. The final game of the 4-game series on Sunday will have Tyson Ross on the mound for the Padres, and Ryu will go for the Dodgers, 9-5. High pop-up. Wow, look how high, piercing the night. And finally comes down in foul territory, and Uribe can't make the play. That was out of sight. Stratospheric pop fly.
That's going to be an error.
Second life for Carlos Quinton. First error by the Dodgers tonight.
That ball's got such rotation now. That's why you see the catchers when they got in front of home plate, they turn their back to the infield, but too much far out in front. Not even close for Uribe.
Wow. That's a spring training miss. 2-1. And a ground ball foul. Grandal on deck. The attendance tonight, 46,073. We mentioned earlier in the telecast the Dodgers lead the majors in attendance. The average 46,367, so just under that number tonight. There's a wicked fastball right through the swing, and Jansen has his first strikeout. Two away to Yasmani Grandal, a single and 4 at bats.
Catcher number 8, Yasmani Grandal.
Ground ball, first baseman Gonzalez able to snare it, take it to the bag himself for the out. So Jansen a quick 1-2-3 ninth inning despite the error by Uribe. And we go to the last of the ninth. The Padres will bring in their ace closer, Houston Street. A taste of the action tonight as the Padres lead 6-3. Last of the ninth, and Houston Street takes the mound for the Padres. Street seeking his 24th save of the season.
A model of consistency for Houston Street. Only one blown save. That was back in San Diego. Michael Morse hitting a home run against the Giants. ERA just over 1, and an opponent's batting average. That's what sticks out, the 162. But, you know, he's a strike thrower. Only 7 free passes in 32 innings for the right-hander.
3 tough hitters to get out here in the ninth. D. Gordon, the All-Star second baseman, faced him only once. Puig struck him out all 3 times. And Adrian Gonzalez, not the case. Gonzalez 4 for 9 and a home run.
And you know what? As Cameron Maben goes into play center field, Will Venable will go over to right field. Seth Smith then over to left. Credit Joaquin Benoit for getting out of that jam and allowing Houston Street to go out there with the 3-run lead.
So here we go. A couple of All-Stars to start it. Gordon, then Puig. Padres with a 6-3 lead. Strike one, Gordon. 1 for 4 tonight. He singled, and he scored a run. Really the key to the inning to get him out, keep him off the bases, and they're not going to do that, or are they? Yeah. Houston Street able to take that one out of center field. Field your position. One away.
Like a cat.
Right fielder, number 66, Yasiel Puig.
Gordon saying something to Street as he went back to the dugout. Street getting a smile out of it.
That's a good play. Houston Street has to reach all the way across to his right.
Look how quickly he reacted.
Yeah. Good fielding position, and then, oh, nice play.
Snow coned it. Puig, a single and a double and a walk. 2 for 3 tonight, and a bonehead play on the bases. And he pops that toward us. Not quite going to make it. Down below. Puig batting .306 at the start, so he'll boost that up a couple of points. Now hitting .310. Swing and a miss. There's the slider.
Yep.
That's the one that Street has had good success in striking out Puig all 3 times he's faced him. Got him. And that was right in the heart of the plate. 2 away.
Hey, he likes the fastball. You put a little wrinkle in it. Different story for Yasiel Puig.
So final out. Adrian Gonzalez. He's grounded to second, line to left, walked, and a sacrifice fly that became a double play when Puig made a huge base running mistake.
Well, the first pitch was a fastball. He likes the fastball, right? Fastballs bats like very much. Breaky ball, bats afraid.
Gonzalez. 1 strike. Adrian with a sacrifice fly in both games of the series. Now with 60 runs batted in. On his way to another 100 RBI season. Two and 1. Weak swing and a miss on the changeup. Gonzalez with 100 RBIs or more in 6 of the last 7 seasons. And he looks like he's on his way again.
Yeah, he's one of those hitters where you can just pencil it in every year, huh?
It's kind of nice, huh?
Yep.
Now the shift with 2 strikes on him. Only Amarista left on the left side, and Falou playing shallow right field. Takes it low. And the count full.
Oh, it's worth another look, isn't it? Look at that. The right side. 1, 2, 3. There's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then there's a guy over here. 9. But pulling the ball on the infield, the rover, that's the big key. You get a lot of range. Shallow right field for Falou.
That one goes into the mezzanine level. Karam's down. Ethier on deck. Bases empty, 2 outs in the 9th. And a full count on Gonzalez. A strike away from locking up the win for Bud Black. 6-3 Padres. And a ground ball to the first baseman, Gobert. He'll take it to the bag himself, and the Padres have won Game 2 of the 4-game series.